SGA is shaping up to have potentially one of the best seasons ever on paper. He's already secured the MVP award and now locks in Western Conference Finals MVP. After a regular season with 68 wins and a shot at the finals now locked in, this could end up being one of the most impressive seasons, not only from a player, but from an NBA team that we've ever seen. The Thunder defense focused mainly on stopping Edwards and turning him into an inefficient scorer that has worked wonders for them and really helped them all series. The Thunder's main focus is on stopping him and forcing the Wolves' other players to be the reason they won or lost. For the Wolves, unfortunately, streaky performances by Julius Randle and not enough overall help from the supporting cast just left them with just not enough to beat the star-studded OKC team. The Thunder got production out of pretty much everyone who stepped on the floor for them, largely due to the impact and gravity of SGA. He allows the rest of the offense to get so many opportunities because of the respect he demands for defenses. And for the Thunder, you gotta look at how well this team was built. You gotta look back to the Paul George trade that got them both SGA and Jalen Williams. You gotta look at the signing of Hartenstein. You gotta look at the drafting. You gotta look at Chet Holmgren, how they hit on so many of their picks. But really, the other thing you have to look at is that they're not overspending now. They have all these picks built up, and they didn't spend it for a win-now player, like an older player. They just saved their picks. They trusted their current team, and their current team is showing them why they had trust in them. I think another trade they did that was great was for Alex Caruso, Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. Josh Giddey's a very good player in his own right. Almost got the first quadruple-double ever this season, but he was not a fit on this Thunder team. He needed the ball in his hands too much in a already ball-dominant offense by SGA. I think it was a great trade for them to go for Caruso, get a little bit of age, but also you're getting the defense. Giddey's a good defender as well, but Caruso came up with stop and steal after stop every single time this series, and I think he was absolutely huge for them, and I think that's something that's going to be so important for the Thunder in the finals. With Caruso as well, you're getting finals experience. He won with 2020 with the Lakers, and he's surely hoping to get back there and just win another championship. I think that's something that's going to be so huge for them to get that championship experience. Last year they were still a very young team. Obviously, every player a year younger was a year ago, but getting Caruso on this team, kind of giving that mentorship and leadership of a champion, I think is something that's been so huge for this team, and they've really shown it this playoffs. Going into the offseason for the Wolves, they are now going to have many questions, largely pertaining to Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, both players they received for Karl-Anthony Towns. Randle had a very good year, but again, another inconsistent playoffs in terms of efficiency raises eyebrows and questions for a team that in win-now mode with one of the best young talents in the league. For Dante DiVincenzo, the question is, you think he can recreate what he did in New York a year ago? After a career year with the Knicks this year, he had the Knicks three-point record and for a single game and for a season. The question is, do you think you could turn back into that, or do you think he's kind of done in terms of his shooting being at that level ever again? And if you're the Wolves GM, are you going to want to make sure to answer that question? Make sure in the offseason, do you trust him to turn around this season, or do you try to trade him for a more surefire piece? A guy who's going to, give you consistent scoring, because I think he still has some trade value, and I think that's important for them to try to, maximize on that if they don't think he's going to help the team right now. For the OKC Thunder, it's not often where a team going to the NBA Finals is the youngest team in the league and has 3 first-round picks next year. For the OKC Thunder, what it is not to say about this team, one of the youngest teams in NBA history to make the finals, and they are only going to get younger with the crazy amount of draft capital they have built up. This year, if they could finish the story, it will not only be the perennial moment for this franchise, but also possibly the start of a dynasty in Oklahoma City.